So classification of water tube boiler. First is horizontal straight tube boiler. It is further classified as longitudinal drum, cross drum. Second, bent tube boiler. Bent tube boiler is further classified as two drum, three drum, low head three drum, and four drum. Then third is cyclone fired boiler. Then various advantages of water tube boiler. We have already understood that the water tube boiler and fire tube boiler and usability of water tube boiler as compared to fire tube boiler. Fire tube boiler can produce steam at a very high pressure with the order 140 kg per centimeter square means approximately 135 bar can be obtained. So all high pressure boiler are water tube boiler and fire tube boilers are low pressure boiler because this can fire tube boiler cannot generate steam at high pressure. Heating surface area is also large. You can increase number of tubes to increase the heating surface. Therefore, steam can be generated easily. Large heating surface can be obtained by increasing the number of tubes. You can increase if the two tubes are there, you can increase the number of tubes. Three tubes can be there, four tubes can be there. Can be there. If you increase the number of tubes, heating surface area increases. So production of steam also increases. Because of the high movement of the water in the tube, the rate of heat transfer becomes large, resulting into greater efficiency. Because of higher movement of the water through the tube, water can extract or water can take large amount of heat from the furnace, from the flue gases. Okay, so efficiency also increases. Yesterday, I have explained how efficiency is defined. So, large amount of heat absorbed equal to large amount of efficiency. Then fire tube boilers are classified first external furnace is further classified as horizontal return tubular, short firebox and compact. Second internal furnace it is further classified as horizontal tubular, short firebox, locomotive, compact and Scotch. And third vertical tubular say in second itself vertical tubular is further classified as straight vertical shell and vertical tube. Cochrane, which is vertical shell and horizontal tube. Various advantages of fire tube boiler. There is nothing like advantage in the fire tube boiler. Only we can say it is a low cost and compact in size. Simple vertical boiler. Simple vertical boiler. First of all, we'll see the construction part of it. Working, working of simple vertical boiler. Function of mountings. Now, in simple vertical boiler, accessories are not given. Okay. Here you can see the lower part is ash pit. Lower part is the ash pit. This is the stand. This is the stand. This is the ash pit. The lowermost part of any boiler is the ash pit. This is the grate. This is the grate. Here feed check wall is provided. Here is a fire door. Fire door also called as fire hole. This is a manhole is provided. The hand hole, manhole. These are cross tubes or cross box also can be called water level indicator, pressure gauge, steam stop valve, safety valve, and this is a chimney. Simple vertical boiler consists of a outer cylindrical shell has a hemispherical crown. Crown means top part of the boiler is called as a crown. It consists of a cylindrical outer shell with a hemispherical crown surrounds the cylindrical firebox which is tapered in shape. It surrounds the cylindrical firebox which is tapered in shape and which is narrowed down at the top. At the bottom of fire box there is a grate. On the grate fuel is provided. At the bottom it is the ash pit where ash is collected. When fuel undergo combustion, it gives byproduct as ash. Ash is an uncombustible part which is available in the fuel. Coal contains ash percentage also. When the coal burn, it separates the ash and which is collected at the bottom of the boiler, which is in the ash pit. It consists of a fire hole. From fire hole, fuel is supplied in the firebox. Where combustion takes place. Therefore, this region is called as a combustion chamber. A water is stored between two cylindrical shell, between outer cylindrical shell and inner cylindrical shell. It is completely filled with the water. This is the top level of water, and this region is a steam space. This region is called as steam space where steam is collected. During a combustion, the product of combustion, flue gases formed, which moves in the upward direction, which hits the water in the tube, hits the water in the cross tubes. Also hits the water available between the two cylindrical shells. As the it is inclined in the leftward direction. Due to natural circulation, as the water gets heated, water moves in the upward direction. And Steam forms is collected at the top. For the natural circulation, these cross tubes are provided slightly inclined. The flue gases first hits the water inside the cross tubes and hits water surrounded the firebox, and finally flue gases moves in the atmosphere through the chimney. The handhole is provided for cleaning the cross tubes. Here manhole is also provided for cleaning and maintenance purposes. These mountings are provided for the proper operation of the boiler. Mountings are necessary part or necessary component in every boiler. Without mounting, boiler cannot run. If even single mounting is not working, we cannot run the boiler. We can run boiler without accessories, no problem if accessories is not there. Now, what is difference between accessories and mounting? I will tell you. Suppose you are running the bike, but there is no brake in your bike. So brake is a mounting. Without brake, you cannot think of driving the bike. Accelerator is also mounting. Okay, seat on which you sit. Without seat, you cannot run. Without handle, you cannot run your bike. So these are the mounting part. Without headlight, we cannot run. Okay, if you are driving the vehicle at night, so headlight is required. But accessories are secondary part. Without accessories, you can run the boiler, but to increase the efficiency, we need to use accessories. Okay, suppose you are using halogen bulb, you are using halogen bulb, so you will have a greater visibility in the night. If you are using seat cover, you may get greater comfort while driving your bike. It is accessories. You may have different types of leg guard, bigger leg guard. When your bike top gets topple, it may save you. Okay, you may have different shape of is uh, speedometers. Even without speedometer you can run the bike, no problem. Without speedometer you can run the bike, but it gives a better accessibility to drive. Means you can check at what speed your bike is running, isn't it? So the which is not required but increases the efficiency, it's called as a accessories. But which is the required one, without which you cannot run the bike, it's called as a mounting. Similarly in the boiler also, without which you cannot run the boiler, is a mounting. And to increase the efficiency of the boiler, we use accessories. In the accessories we use economizer, we use superheater. Okay, we use a reheater. So now you might have understood the difference between mounting and accessories. I have explained the construction part of it and working. Now I will explain the mountings provided on it. Feed check valve. Feed check valve is used to supply water in the boiler. When during the working, during the working, water gets evaporate and convert into steam. So water level decreases. As the water level decreases, we need to supply water, and water is supplied in the boiler through feed check valve. Through feed check valve. And feed check valve takes the water from feed pump, and feed pump takes the water from hot well. Look at here. From turbine, water is collected, water is supplied to the condenser for cooling purpose, and then for condenser it is collected in the hot well. Okay, then from hot well, pump supplies water to the feed check valve, and through the feed check valve it is supplied in the boiler. Through feed check valve it is supplied in the boiler. So feed check valve is used to supply water or feed the water in the boiler. Now pump increases the pressure of water above a boiler pressure, above the boiler pressure. If the water pressure is less than the boiler pressure, then water cannot enter in the boiler. To allow water to enter in the boiler, we need to have greater water pressure. Greater water pressure, therefore pump is required. Pump pressurize the water above the boiler pressure. If the boiler pressure is greater than the water, in that case, feed check valve remains closed. In that case, feed check valve remains closed, and it does not allow steam to or water to return in the hot well. So it is a non-return type valve. Feed check valve is a non-return type valve. So it allows water, fresh water to enter, but it restricts the reverse motion of water from boiler to hot well. Second, handhole and manhole are provided for the cleaning purposes. Handhole is provided for cleaning of the tube, manhole is provided for cleaning and maintenance of the whole boiler. Then water level indicator. Water level indicator, you can see one end of the water level indicator is in the steam space and second in the water space. So it shows us the level of water. So operator checks the level of water in the boiler with the help of water level indicator. It is very important. If water level indicator is not there, so operator will not cannot check the water level in the boiler. If it is fall predominantly, then bursting of boiler can happen. Pressure gauge. Pressure gauge is required to check the pressure of steam. Suppose we want steam at say uh, 10 bar. So we can check what is the pressure. What is the pressure? If pressure gauge shows the 10 bar, then and only then we will supply the steam to the application area. Next is steam stop wall. Steam stop wall is like a tap. Steam stop wall is like a tap. Whenever we require water at our home, we open the tap. Similarly, whenever we require steam, we open the steam stop wall and supply steam to the application area. It may be to the boiler. Okay, it may be in the industry for various application. So steam stop wall is used to supply steam in the application area. But why it is called, the name is like steam stop wall, why not steam supply wall? Actually in the application, whenever boiler is working, steam is supplied continuously to the application area. Whenever boiler is in a working condition, steam is supplied to the application area continuously. Steam is supplied to the application area continuously. But whenever you want to stop the operation in your industry, or if you want to stop the generation of electricity, in that case you need to stop the turbine. To stop the turbine, we need to stop the supply of steam. In that case, we stop this wall, we close this wall. Therefore, to stop the supply of steam, we operate. Otherwise, it is in the open condition always. It is in the open condition. Just to stop the supply of steam, we operate the steam stop wall. Hence, it is called as a steam stop wall, not steam supply wall. Next, mounting is safety wall. Safety wall is used for the safety purposes. Suppose you have stopped the supply of steam, or you have decreased the supply of steam, but combustion is taking place in the boiler continuously. Combustion is taking place in the furnace continuously. It is converting water into steam continuously. So continuously combustion is taking place, continuously what steam generation is taking place. So at the top of the boiler, the large amount of steam will be accumulated with the high pressure. With the high pressure, you know, safety walls are designed for a particular pressure. Safety walls are designed for the particular pressure. If the pressure of steam overcomes that designed value, then safety valve opens and it exhausts the excess steam. It exhausts the steam in the atmosphere so that working pressure can be maintained in the boiler. So that working pressure can be maintained in the boiler. If safety valves are not provided due to overpressure, boiler can burst. Boiler can burst. To avoid this to happen, safety valves are required. Whenever we increase or decrease the flow rate, or whenever we stop the steam flow rate to the outside, still production of steam is continuous here. So it increases the steam pressure. And if this value goes above or beyond the safe value, the boiler can burst. To avoid that, safety wall is provided. To avoid that, safety wall is provided. Above particular pressure, safety valve opens automatically and it exhausts the steam outside. And when the pressure of steam goes below that particular set value of the safety valve close automatically. Now, safety valves are of a different types: deadweight safety valve, lever safety valve, spring-loaded safety valve, high steam low water safety valve. Okay. Then feasible plug. Feasible plug is provided at the top of the firebox. Suppose water level in the boiler decreases, so Uneven heating of in the boiler will take place, and due to heating the high temperature, our temperature will increase at a very high value. In that case, tubes can burn out. Tubes of the boiler can burn out. To avoid that, feasible plug is provided at a very high temperature or particular set value. This feasible plug melts. Feasible plug is normally made up of a gunmetal. That gunmetal melts and creates the opening here. Creates the opening here. This steam push water in the firebox, and which extinguishes the fire, and combustion stop. As the combustion stop, generation of steam stop. Okay, I will explain with a domestic application like pressure cooker. Have you seen pressure cooker? Cover of pressure cooker, everyone. This is pressure cooker cover. At the center there is a there is a safety wall which is called as a deadweight safety wall. We normally call it as a city, isn't it? We normally call it as a city. When you hold it on your hand, it is very heavy. It is very heavy. Okay, and it is designed for the particular pressure range. It is designed for the particular pressure range. If the pressure goes above that pre-designed value, then city lift up. Then this deadweight safety wall lift up. One more wall you can see on the cover of pressure cooker. This nut, this bolt, okay, this bolt is there, and at the center, if you see at the center, there is a it is made up of different material. Outer portion is made up of aluminum, and inner portion is made up of different material which melts at a particular temperature. If the temperature in the pressure cooker is very high and this safety wall is not working, if safety wall is damaged or not working, or it has been stuck somewhere and it is not moving up, so what happen? Pressure cooker may get burst. Okay, to avoid that condition, a fusible plug is also provided here. At the center of the fusible plug, one material is there which melts at high pressure and creates the opening, and when it opens, it exhausts the steam outside, and pressure inside the pressure cooker decreases. Pressure inside the pressure cooker decreases. Now one more accessory is there, but it is not mentioned here. That is blow off cork. Blow off cork is also simple tap. Blow off cork is also a simple tap which is required and which is operated after every 5 to 6 hours for removing the impurities, dust and sand in the boiler. When water is supplied from the feed check valve, water contains some impurities, and when water gets converted into steam, that impurities get separates from water and it is deposited on the tube. It is deposited on the tube. It is deposited on the firebox. Okay, it is deposited on the firebox. Okay, if it is deposited on the firebox, the heat transfer will not take place. Heat transfer from this firebox to water will not takes place, and it will reduce the heat transfer rate. As the heat transfer rate reduces, steam generation rate also reduces, and due to that, when the impurities get solidified, that is salt, when the salt gets solidifies, it forms a scaling, and scaling is a insulation, you know that scaling act as an insulator, and due to overheating, the tubes may get burst. To avoid that deposition of salt, mud and impurities, we need to operate it after 5 to 6 hours when the boiler is working. After 5 to 6 hours when the boiler is working, when this blow off cork is open, steam push this water, steam, high pressure steam push this water, and this water comes out of the boiler with very high velocity, which also takes the impurities outside, and which decreases the concentration of sediments and salt sediments and impurities of the water. This is one application. For the second application is like, suppose you want to stop the boiler, if you want to take boiler for the maintenance, then in that case if you want to evacuate this boiler completely, then just open this blow off cork, water will get removed from the boiler and you can go for maintenance of the boiler. Okay. It theoretical part of this, it consists of a cylindrical shell, the greater portion of which is full of water, and remaining is the steam space. It is a full of water and remaining is the steam space. At the bottom of the firebox, there is a grate on which fuel is provided, and ash pit collects the ash. This is a firebox. This is a grate on the fuel is provided, and this is the ash pit. A simple vertical boiler is self-contained and can be easily transported. It is self-contained. It is a vertical since space required is very less. Therefore, transportation is very easy as compared to other boiler. Now, construction part of this, it consists of a cylindrical shell, outer cylindrical shell, which surrounds the inner cylindrical firebox, which is in a tapered shape. The firebox is slightly tapered toward the top of the shell and allows ready passage of the steam to the surface. At the bottom of the firebox, there is a grate. The firebox is fitted with a two or more inclined cross tubes. You can see this is one cross tube, second, this is second cross tubes. You can have more cross tube to increase the heating surface. These tubes are used to increase the heating surface of the simple vertical boiler and also increase the water circulation. Also increase the water circulation. At the top of the firebox, there is stack produce natural draught. I will tell you. This is a chimney or also called as stack, which is used for producing the natural draught. I will tell you what is draught. Draught is a pressure difference between the flue gas and atmospheric air. This is a pressure difference between flue gas and atmospheric air. The pressure of the flue gas is less as compared to atmospheric air, and the density difference between flue gas and atmospheric air. As the density of the flue gas, since the flue gas is hot, the density is low. Since the flue gas is hot, density is low. And because of the low density, it moves in the upward direction and escape finally in the atmosphere. Escape finally in the atmosphere. The density of the atmospheric air is high, density of the flue gas is low. Because of that density difference, flue gas can move in the upward direction. In this case, it happens automatically or because of the chimney height. Because of the chimney height. In modern boiler, we use a draught system, forced draught system, in which we use induced draught, forced draught, or balanced draught. The fans are used, okay, to remove the flue gases. A manhole is also available at the top of the shell and meant to enter the boiler for the maintenance and cleaning. Here, a mud hole is provided at the bottom of the shell, and to remove the mud that settles down, a mud hole is also provided. The space between the boiler shell and the firebox is fitted with the water to be heated. Water level indicator also provided to check the water level in the boiler. Pressure gauge, safety valve, air vent valve, and steam supply valve are also installed at the top of the crown. This is a top crown, and this top crown is made up cylindrical. This top crown is made up in the cylindrical shape. This cylindrical top crown allows the generation of high pressure. Now, working of the simple vertical boiler. The boiler is fed into the grate through a fuel is fed into the grate through the fire hole. Fire hole. A fuel is fed into the grate from the fire hole. The ash pit used to collect the ash from the burning fuel, which is located at the bottom of the grate. At the bottom of the grate, there is an ash pit. Ash is collected after the combustion of fuel. The boiler diameter is normally 3.9 to 5 feet and its height is approximately 9 feet. Each cross tube has a diameter of 9 inches. The boiler heating surface is 80 square feet and its grate area is 8.4 square feet. The boiler pressure is approximately 100 psi, which is nearby 7 bar. You know, unit conversion of psi and bar, 14.5 psi equal to 1 bar. Okay, normally we fill 30 psi in our vehicle, and which is equal to approximately 2 bar. Okay, so 14.5 psi is equal to 1 bar. The combustion gas flows from the furnace and pass around the tubes. This combustion gas flows from the furnace and pass around the tubes. These gases escape to the atmosphere through the chimney. These gases escape to the atmosphere through the chimney. Due to natural circulation, hot water moves from the lower end to higher end. Supply the steam Supply of steam is then regulated to the stop valve. Due to natural circulation, this water gets move in the upper direction. As it gets heated, it moves in the upper direction, and steam is collected at the top. As the water level decreases and the steam level increases, from the feed check valve, water is supplied, and the steam is supplied to the application area with the help of steam stop valve. Next, Cochrane boiler. It is a fire tube boiler. Cochrane boiler is a fire tube boiler. Is considered as a first fire tube boiler. Means we are taking first fire tube boiler. It is a vertical shell. You can see its shell is a vertical. Therefore, it's called a vertical shell horizontal tube boiler. You can see tubes are horizontal. Therefore, it is called as a vertical shell horizontal tube boiler. It its crown is hemispherical. The upper portion of that is a hemispherical. The crown is a hemispherical. The purpose of keeping it as a hemispherical, it can withstand high pressure. Suppose its top is like this, its top is like this, not a hemispherical. Then the joints in joints there can be chance of leakages at high pressure, but it can withstand high pressure. So it can produce steam at a high pressure also. At the bottom of the furnace there is a ash pit. This is a grate. This is a grate. This is a fire door. This is firebox. This is a firebox. Okay, means here fuel is supplied. Here fuel is supplied. When the fuel is burnt, it flames reaches here. Therefore, actual combustion takes place over here. Actual combustion takes place over here. Therefore, this region is called as a combustion chamber. This region is called as combustion chamber. If this combustion chamber has a metal edge. Okay, this portion is a metal edge. Then what will happen? The heat will directly rejected to the atmosphere. Therefore, heat loss may take place. Heat loss may take place. To avoid a heat loss, this combustion chamber is provided with a big linings. The combustion chamber wall is made up of outer wall of the combustion chamber is made up of brick to avoid the heat transfer to the atmosphere to save the heat. Okay, and here combustion takes place. The flue gases formed during combustion is flows through the tubes. Therefore, this is called as a fire tubes. This is called as a fire tubes. Now, this fire tube is completely surrounded by the water. The fire tubes is completely surrounded by water. Finally, fire tubes are connected with a smoke box. Smoke box is connected to the chimney and flue gases flows outside through the chimney. Smoke box is also given with a fire door to remove the ash. To remove the ash. It also consists of mountings, water level indicator, feed check wall, pressure gauge, steam stop wall. Here, steam stop wall is given with an anti-priming pipe. I will tell you what is anti-priming pipe. Here, deadweight safety wall is given. Then, blow off cork. Now, working. When fuel is supplied in the firebox on the grate, the combustion of fuel takes place in the combustion chamber. The flue gases formed flows through the tubes, and this heat from the flue gases is taken up by the water, and water gets heated. As the water gets heated, it moves in the upward direction. As the water gets heated, it moves in the upward direction, and finally when it converts into steam, it is collected in the top portion of the boiler in the ground region. This dotted dashed line represents the water and this circles represents the steam. Circle represents the steam. Now when steam is formed at a particular pressure and temperature, then steam is supplied to the application area with the help of steam stop wall in the application area. Now steam stop wall is connected here with the anti-priming pipe. Now purpose of anti-priming pipe is to separate wet steam and dry steam. Means when steam enters in the anti-priming pipe, it separates the wet steam and allows only dry steam to enter in the steam stop wall. And only a dry steam is supplied to the application area or to turbine. Here pressure gauge is provided to check the pressure of the steam at what pressure is to be supplied. Feed check valve is given here for supplying the steam, sorry, supplying the water in the boiler. Water level indicator is provided to check the level of water in the boiler. Then deadweight safety valve. It is a type of safety valve is provided for the safety purpose. If the steam supply is stopped or the steam supply is less or the steam pressure is increased above the design value of the boiler, in that case, safety valve is set for the particular pressure. Safety valve is set for the particular pressure. Above that pressure, safety valve opens and it exhausts the steam and it decreases the pressure of the steam below the working pressure and it automatically closes. I have explained in the vertical boiler, simple vertical boiler. Blow off cork. Blow off cork is operated after every 5 to 6 hours in the working condition of the boiler to remove the mud, impurities and sand. When water is supplied, water contains some impurities, and when water gets converted into steam, it separates the impurities and impurities settle down on the boiler. Impurities settle down on the firebox. Okay, so heat transfer will not take place if it is collected, if it is deposited on the firebox. Therefore, you need to remove continuously. Therefore, after 5 to 6 hours, when the ball is in the working condition, this wall is open. It is just like a tap. This valve is open. High pressure steam push the water and water comes out with the impurities, and the concentration of impurity or salt decreases in the boiler. Here you can see two different design of Cochrane boiler. This is a actual model of Cochrane boiler. Then outstanding features of Cochrane boiler are: it is very compact and required minimum floor area since it is vertical. Any type of fuel can be used with this boiler. It is well suited for small capacity requirement. It gives 70% efficiency with coal and 75% efficiency with oil as a fuel. The ratio of great area to heating surface area is 10 is to 20, 10 is to 1 to 25 is to 1. Then mountings: pressure gauge is used to check the pressure of the steam. Water level indicator is used to check the water level in the boiler. Okay. Safety valve. Safety valve, as I told you, are of different types here. Uh, Deadweight safety valve is provided. You might have seen deadweight safety valve in your pressure cooker also. Okay. Safety valve is provided for the safety reason when the steam pressure is very high and it is about to burst, but the safety valve are designed in such a way that at above working pressure the safety valve opens and it exhausts the steam and prevents the bursting or prevents the damage of the boiler. Then fusible plug is also provided in the boiler. Fusible plug, this is the fusible plug provided. This is the firebox, complete firebox. Combustion on the combustion chamber, this fusible plug is provided. And as I explained, fusible plug is made up of a gunmetal. When the water level decreases and due to very high temperature, this gunmetal melts. This gunmetal melts and steam push water in the firebox, that is in the furnace, and it extinguishes the fire. And as the fire extinguishes, formation of steam stops. Then blow off cork is used for removing the mud, sediments, impurities, and it is operated after every 5 to 6 hours. Keep the boiler clean. Then steam stop valve is used to supply steam into the application area. It consists of anti-priming pipe. Also, anti-priming pipe separates the water particle associated with the steam, and it supplies only dry steam to the steam stop valve, and then steam stop valve supplies only dry steam to the application area. Feed check valve is used to supply water in the boiler at high pressure. The pressure is greater than the boiler pressure. If the pressure of boiler is if the pressure of steam is greater than if the boiler pressure is greater than this water pressure, in that case uh, it remains closed.